I'm Alan Colmes. Little did I know, and I emailed Ann Coulter earlier today and said, I think you're being misunderstood, but here's how I think you might have done it differently. Little did I think you were going to be in New York today. And then you emailed me and said, hi, I'll come up and do your show. So thank you very much for being here tonight.
Not only in New York, in the building.
In the building, and in the chair in the studio. Not even a pre-tape. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. So I totally get, as I said to you earlier today, what you were doing.
Yeah.
You are going after a party that you normally support, saying they're a bunch of panderers.
Yeah.
And most people think, well, she couldn't be saying, she must be going after Jews. She wouldn't be going after the Republican Party. And I think the mistake you made is when you said, how many effing Jews are there? If you had not used
how many do they think?
Do they think there are? Had you not used the F word, the phrase effing Jew, that's what got you in trouble.
I don't think so.
You shouldn't have done it that way.
No, for one thing, it wouldn't be funny without it. So
you were going for the joke once again.
Yeah, I totally was. And moreover, I don't think that's true because anybody with a pulse knows I'm pro-Israel. So that should be ruled out of order.
Yeah, you're
right
more of
away.
a Zionist than I am, as I said to you.
I know that.
Right. I mean, I'm a self-hating Jew, as you well know.
Well, so are most of the people attacking me. I mean, that I have. They are specific. They're pulling stuff out of context. Curiously, it's people who hate me for other reasons, such as my support for Israel and such as my opposition to immigration.
And here's an example to pile on. Look, I disagree with you, as you know, on 99% of stuff. But I think in this case you are unfairly being criticized.
Oh, totally.
As I've said to you.
Thank you.
Because they are pandering.
Yes.
And they're pandering to Jews because people like Sheldon Adelson give them a lot of money.
And probably a little bit the evangelicals, too, which was the third tweet in that series.
Right. And AIPAC, which, and Chuck Schumer being against the Iran deal, unlike a lot of other Democrats, speaking of the Jewish vote in New York. And I think I'm outraged at Chuck Schumer saying, go back. Now, you and I may disagree about the Iran deal.
Yes, I think we will.
We're talking process here. We're not talking policy.
Right.
And so for Schumer to say, well, go back and renegotiate the deal, you can't go back to the P5 plus 1 plus the European Union. Let's do it again. No, it's not going to happen. Right?
I'm trying to think what group since we haven't had a Democrat debate, I'm trying to think of what group the Democrats suck up to in an embarrassing way. I don't think any of them do it as much as Republicans do. In my column yesterday, I didn't even mention Israel. It was the suck-uppery on Ronald Reagan.
Suck-uppery, I like that word.
The suck-uppery on Ronald Reagan and pro-life. And look, I'm pro-life. I'm not a Reagan hater. I'm pro-Israel. Please, the entire party is. Stop talking about things we 100% agree on.
But you know the phrase effing Jews.
No, but it wasn't the phrase effing Jews. If I could just clarify for people who do not know how to use the adjective effing.
Right. And by the way, you didn't spell it out. It was effing. Right. Okay.
Right. Though I did use the full BS word in an earlier tweet about global warming. So I'm capable of cursing when I want to on Twitter.
Good for you.
No, the point is, if the full sentence were effing Jews, that's anti-Semitic. It wasn't that. It was modifying the quantity. How many effing Jews do they think are in this country? Right. And they'd just been asked a question. I mean, I tweeted other things about you need to follow my tweets or anything I write or, just vaguely be familiar with my work.
And devote my entire life to everything you've ever done. I understand.
No, but you have to. Nobody with a pulse thinks that I'm not pro-Israel.
Well, I got it right away, as you know, because I know you, and I also know you go for the joke.
Yes.
And as you've said, when I've actually written about you in books and criticized you, at least I quoted you correctly.
Yes.
But the problem also, that a lot of anti-Semites, and you go, girl, some of the response you got were from deplorable, reprehensible human beings with a bunch of anti-Semitism in the response to you.
I've heard
supporting you.
No, I've heard that. But look, you can't do anything about the nuts who support you. And as I told the Daily Beast, they just put up a piece on this, more honest than their earlier piece today. I think a lot of those people are maybe not 100%. I don't want to get in an argument about this, but a lot of them I think are liberal fakers pretending to agree with you. Yeah, let's get the N-words. Oh, screw you.
What do you mean? What do you mean liberal fakers pretending to agree with
Like we used to see at the Tea Parties where they'd start spouting racist stuff, and then we'd find out, this guy works for the Democrats.
Oh, so you're saying they're infiltrating?
Yeah. They're not real, and if they are real, they're not my friends. They don't speak for me. Look, last month I was on a list put out by America's premier hate group, Southern Poverty Law Center.
Oh, come on. They're a great group, and they do a lot of good work, and they call people on their BS, and they go after haters and racists. And
I was on the
Morris
list.
Dees has done a great job over there, by the way.
America's premier hate group.
No.
I was on their list for among the top 10 anti-jihadist journalists. So I'm rounding things out here.
The top 10. Well, at least you're, when people say you're the number one idiot I ever watched, you got to be number one at something. All right, now, your pal, Donald Trump.
My pal.
Yeah, your pal.
The next president.
I don't know if you, no. I don't know if you heard. I tell you, watch Kasich, watch Rubio. Those are the guys to watch. Yes.
No, Kasich, as long as, this has become my specialty, attacking Republicans.
Right.
The problem with Kasich is he uses that phony Christian sanctimony. And again, Anna's a Christian. Don't call in with your hate on that now.
When you get calls in the next segment, if you can say one more segment.
Oh, absolutely. The calls. It's going to be that Saturday Night Live. Remember with Heather Locklear, and she's doing like a QVC thing, and she keeps saying, as drunk as an Indian or something, and the lights keep going on.
Have they done you on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, but they haven't done it well. And one of my friends said, it's crazy because you have so many, you're so easy to imitate. You know who's going to be great to imitate? In fact, I can't do imitations, and I want to go home and practice it.
Who's that?
Donald Trump.
Of course. Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Fallon doesn't really have it down yet.
I think I could do it, and I can't do imitations.
Go ahead.
No, not right now. I need a little more practice.
Will you work on it? I want to hear that. Okay, but getting back to Kasich Rubio, what's the problem?
Well, Rubio lied to Florida voters, said he was against amnesty, swore on his mother's life, and then he spent 3 years in Washington pushing amnesty. And again, the point of my tweet...
Because that's where the votes are. You need the Latino vote. You can't just get votes among more white people.
Look, as long as I'm taking the heat for my tweet, I want to stress this point and at least get something good out of it. Israel is gone if we keep our current immigration policies going.
Not true. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely
That's
100%
absurd.
True because point one, the entire country becomes California. No Republican ever gets elected president, and the current occupant of the White House just gave Iran a nuclear bomb.
That's absurd. That's absurd.
But President
that is ridiculous.
Obama's and Iran deal after Iran deal after Iran deal if we keep the current immigration policies going.
24-hour a day inspection in Iran, not total, but much more transparent than we ever had before. There's no way you just say that we've just given Iran a nuclear bomb is insane.
No, it's completely true. And you see, you will not be accused of anti-Semitism, but I get bored.
Oh, I'm a self-hating Jew to these people.
I get bored with Republican pandering when I'm Miss Israel here.
You're Miss Israel. All right, thanks for coming in with a sash. We're going to take a quick break. Back with Ann Coulter. We'll take some calls. And I do want to play for you what happened at a Trump rally tonight that is despicable. And I'll share the difference between Donald Trump and a good man, John McCain, in just a moment. With Ann Coulter, 877-4ALLEN, the number 877-367-2526. We're online at allen.com. Ann Coulter, who was accusing her own beloved political party of pandering, which they did. And by the way, speaking of pandering, Donald Trump, I love the Bible. I love the Bible. It's a great book. I love the Bible.
I can't tell you what verse I read.
I can't tell you what verse. It's too personal. And then he comes out with a verse that doesn't exist. How is that not pandering? How is Trump not pandering to the evangelicals?
Did he come out with a verse? What was it? What did he say?
What was the exact verse he came out with? I got to look it up. He said something that, hold on. He came out with a Bible verse that does not exist. It's a verse from Proverbs, and what he said was, I love that verse about never bend to envy. It doesn't exist. There's no such Bible verse. After 2 weeks of claiming he loved the Bible but would not reveal a verse, he memorized a few words that are not in the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, let me play the audio. Hold on. Let's play this from Ms. Coulter here.
That you could learn from it. Proverbs, the chapter, never bend to envy. I've had that thing all of my life where people are bending to envy. And it's an incredible book. So many things you can learn from the Bible, and you can lead your life. And I'm not just talking in terms of religion. I'm talking in terms of leading a life, even beyond a religion. There's so many brilliant things in the Bible.
That was to David Brody on the Christian Broadcasting Network.
Mm-hmm.
So name one brilliant. He can't name anything. He's pandering, Ann, isn't he?
Usually... his pitch that I saw to the religious right was when he said, I don't really go to church that much. That's him pandering.
No, he said
And
he does
the
go to
first
church,
few
and then the Marble Collegiate Church, home of one-time
my
Norman
church
Vincent
in New York denied that I went there too. Screw them.
But because you're not in New York a lot. He lives here full time.
No, this is when I was living here full time and going there every Sunday. And somebody calls up and asks if I go. I go every single Sunday.
They said he's not an active member.
They said I'm not, you don't have to be an active member.
Right.
The point is, this is going to help him in the general election. And I think Republicans, again with the pandering, I think they are misunderstanding evangelicals. Well, whether they were pandering to
Isn't he pandering to evangelicals, saying, I love the Bible, best book next to Art of the Deal? That's not pandering?
Not exactly, because he's been very clear that, and his first response on the scripture was, I don't have a favorite, and I get asked that too, and I hate when people ask that. I don't have a favorite
He could have said
Grateful Dead
anything,
song
judge
either.
not lest ye be judged, golden rule.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that. I always tell them I don't have a favorite one either. I don't have a favorite Grateful Dead song. Look, we are both, Donald Trump and I are Presbyterians from the Northeast. It's not going to scare your average independent or your average Democrat. Their attack on Republicans, this is going to help him so much with the general, and I don't think it's going to hurt him with evangelicals, whom he's winning with now. People don't understand about evangelicals. They don't want to impose mandatory Bible reading, the way apparently some of our Republican nominees seem to think. Look, Donald Trump is not going to be the pastor-in-chief. He's been divorced twice. He's living with a model. He's in Trump Tower. He says, I barely go to, or I sometimes go to church. He's not sucking up to them, and they support him because what evangelicals want isn't a pastor-in-chief. They want a president who will leave them alone.
I know they're supporting him. Maybe they're supporting him for some of those reasons, but he's pandering to them by saying, I love the Bible.
I think he does love the Bible.
Well, maybe it's a good bookend for him between another. Maybe he's got two Bibles that work as bookends for other books. Anyway,
that is certainly a thesis.
Let me play for you what happened tonight in New Hampshire when Donald Trump was asked. Listen to this. Here's a question to the Donald.
Okay, this man, I like this guy.
I'm from White Plains. Amen. Okay? We have a problem in this country. It's called Muslims. We know our current president is one. Right. You know he's not even an American.
We need this
birth
question.
certificate, man. But anyway, we have training camps growing where they want to kill us. Mm-hmm. That's my question. When can we get rid of it?
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
What kind of an answer is that?
That was great.
What do what is it?
That was
Compare
great.
and contrast, Ms. Coulter,
we
to
couldn't stand
2008.
McCain, and McCain lost.
Here is John McCain with a similar situation.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not.
No man. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
Now, there's quite a difference there, right, between a decent human being and John McCain.
No, between a candidate who's going to win and one who didn't. John McCain voted for Obama.
John McCain got the nomination. He voted for Obama. He voted against himself when he ran for president.
I think he did. I think he did.
His vote was replaced by Joe Lieberman, who voted for McCain.
That's probably right. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, Donald Trump gave a pass to that guy who's a irrefutable bigot.
He didn't give a pass to him. He said we're going to be looking at the training camps, and we do have to worry about the training camps.
What training camps?
The refugees that I wrote about last week.
No, he was talking about. He was talking about training camps. He's talking about Jade Helm. He wasn't talking about refugee training camps. Oh,
come on! Donald Trump had the perfect response, and Joe Biden, if he were here right now, and I think Joe Biden, as we were discussing off air, I think he has impeccable political skills. And in fact, I knew a long time staffer of his, and he was telling me one time that Joe Biden was up on a podium and the guy introducing him told a racist joke. This was a long time ago. And we were admiring Biden's political skills. What do you do in that point? You laugh and shake your head. but not too much of a laugh. That's exactly what Donald Trump
What
did.
about what John
He
McCain did and
laughed.
said, no, ma'am.
Yes, and again, John McCain lost.
No, he got the nomination after. He got the nomination.
Oh, so what? He's a
Trump's
loser.
not even going to do that. Loser. We sound like Trump now. He's a loser.
He is a loser. He is
You're
a loser.
using Trump language now. You're the female Donald Trump.
Whereas Trump is tremendous.
All right. He's huge. All right.
He's
Paul
huge.
in Woodinville, Washington. Ann Coulter's here. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, and this is our second date.
All right.
Excellent.
How did the first one go?
I'm starting to understand you. America has been so good to you. You know, you got a law degree from a great university, the University of Michigan, and then you became a successful fiction writer. And, you know, America's been...
That's an old one.
Yeah.
Is it old one? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this date's not going to go so great then. You know,
There may not be a third.
My sister gave my dad one of your books a couple of years ago. It's not the new one. And my
You
dad
gotta read
loves
the new
Ronald Reagan.
one.
My dad's very conservative. He said, I read a book by Ann Coulter. I said, oh, yeah. She's kind of, and I just let the sentence drop, and I looked at him, and he said, extreme? And I said, is that what you think of her, Dad? And he said, well, I don't. But today is the big news. This is what I called Alan about. And here you are. Today, Michael Medved was talking about your book, Adios, America.
Yeah, something he
And he
won't
said-
interview me for.
He was.
And he said,
No, he's very open borders.
So
he
am
tried
I.
to keep me
America-
off
I'm
Salem
open
Radio.
borders, and I put you on.
My publisher is his radio network, Salem Radio. Not only will he not have me on, he tried to get me banned from my own publisher's radio. So,
Right.
okay, that
He said you were a
I bet
bigot.
Michael Medved isn't a big fan of me or my book.
He said you were a bigot, and this is what he said. He said, if we had a moratorium on immigration for 10 years, as Ann Coulter suggests, this country would have an economic collapse and a depression such as it has never seen. That's what conservative talk show host Michael Medved said about you.
That's open borders, Michael Medved, whom as I just described, hates me.
You know who's also open borders?
because
The
of
Wall
this.
Street Journal editorial
Yeah,
board.
I know that.
And
I know
Rupert
that.
Murdoch.
I know that. This is quite a battle I've taken on.
So actually,
but they're
people like me
wrong.
like you even better than he does.
But they're wrong, and I won't just cast aspersions. I will give you evidence. The last time we had an immigration moratorium was from 1924 to the Teddy Kennedy Immigration Act of 1965. It was one of the most booming, prosperous periods in America's history. And
Not because
in
of that.
fact, yes, it was.
No.
And I'm still talking. And the big example that was always used to claim that immigrants don't drive down, don't harm low-wage workers was the Mariel boat lift example. Well, that's just been taken apart. Their best argument by George Borjas, the Harvard professor, an economics professor, he looked at what the employment rate was in Miami after all of these poor, uneducated Cubans were dropped off at the Mariel boat lift in Miami, and it turns out the former study was completely false. So that's gone.
Well, it
Maybe
turns
you're
out
doing
that the-
fine, but low-wage workers in America aren't. Black teenagers aren't. And I think
And
we
that's
need to
because the
care
unions
about
have been
Americans
destroyed,
first.
Ann. I think the reason we were
That's
so
because of
prosperous,
me?
after
Wait, how
the-
is that because of me?
I didn't say it was because of you.
What
I
did you
was
just
responding
say?
I was responding to you saying that the moratorium on immigration from 1924 through the 1960s, the reason we prospered is because of the Fair Standards Labor Act, which was passed in the other things we had. That's what. And the
Well, we
strength of
still
unions.
have that lamb chop. So why isn't it working
Boy, this is
now?
getting good, lamb chop. That's good on a second date.
I'm still speaking.
So why? No, I said
All right,
talking.
Let Paul
Why
finish
isn't
his-
it working now?
Let Paul get some oxygen here. Go ahead, Paul.
Why isn't it working now?
Unions have been destroyed since Ronald Reagan. Since our new Gilded Age, since the Lochner era started over again in 1981.
There's no Lochner decision. This is all just
That's
word
what
salad.
Republicans want. That's what we want to go back to. Is the Lochner?
Okay, but you say the
second Gilded
prosperity
Age.
was the Fair Labor Standards Act. Well, we still have those laws on the book, so it doesn't seem to be working now.
I think this state's going great. Imagine the sex you two could have. All right,
Oh, you
Paul.
dirty liberals.
Yeah, dirty. Our sex is dirty all of a sudden.
Well,
Chris,
what a liberal it is.
Chris F.
Don't listen to
Chris
Paul.
F. Brooklyn. Go ahead, Chris.
He's a radio slut. I heard him on the Hartman.
What are you? What are you, Chris? Hey, Chris. Am I the only show you call?
Oh, you got me.
All right.
Okay, I got
So you're a
one
radio
on the other show.
whore. Go ahead.
I stand with Ann.
On what?
Ann is absolutely correct. Look, with a name like Chris F. Brooklyn, I think I have something about the First Amendment going here when it comes to the use of the F word in context. I read your tweet. I heard about the firestorm. It was ridiculous. And just like sometimes it's a modifier that gets the point across, and you did. These were the 15 pandering bears last night. I couldn't stand it. I heard nothing about.
By the way, Chris is a
our
Republican.
domestic life. It was all foreign.
And you're very Jew-friendly, by the way.
Very Jew-friendly. Actually.
Yeah, as the Republican Party is.
No, they're Israel-friendly. I'm not sure they're Jew-friendly. They're Netanyahu-friendly. It doesn't make them Jew-friendly.
Well, okay, but that's what the tweet was about.
Right. No, I get that.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah, is anyone going to bring up the fact that the IAEA gave a pass to Israel again today about their nuclear program?
The IAEA gave a pass to Israel?
Yeah. 61.
Yeah, no, it's okay to have nukes if you're Israel, if you're the United States, and we get to be the decider about who else in the world can get them.
Yeah,
well, I'm
they're
not sure.
kind of surrounded by enemies.
Yeah, and thank God we have a deal with Iran now that'll help them stay safe. Roy,
Wait, are you saying that the deal with Iran is going to help Iran stay safe? What, from Israel's
No,
nukes?
to help Israel stay safe. It'll help Israel stay safe.
Well, now you're just talking
That's what I'm saying.
baby talk.
Roy in Summerfield, North Carolina. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Yes, sir.
What's killing me? No one's holding the GOP candidates' feet to the fire about all this big talk. They're talking about military. We're going to make the military great again. Donald Trump said on the USS Arizona, Iowa, some battleship, we're going to stop treating our vets like garbage. Let me tell you something. We are the slaves of the military. The cost of the military is killing us. We spend as much as the rest of the world put together, but not one guy, even you, Alan, ask these clowns, except maybe Kasich. He's not so bad. How are you going to make the military great again? Do we have to throw another $1 trillion a year into it? Is it just inefficiency that's making them, that makes us treat them like garbage? I mean,
I can answer
talk
that.
about pandering.
No, I think, and this is among the reasons, and the reason I think the military likes Donald Trump so much, and I like him so much. No, you can make the military better and stronger without spending more money. What has happened, and I agree with you, most Republicans don't recognize this. Look, 10% minimum of all military spending is for diversity coordinators and all these nonsense social service jobs. We can get rid of that straight out of the bat. Point two, and this is where an efficiency expert like Donald Trump is going to be handy. Seriously, a lot of things that the military that are spent on for the military, the military, the Pentagon is saying no, please don't give us any more of these planes or these ships. Yeah. But it happens to be in a particular congressman's district. Yeah. So much money gets wasted.
All right, thank you.
So much money gets wasted that Trump is going to be fantastic. We will have a better military, and don't worry, it won't spend more money.
Yes, because Hillary will be the next president. Thank you very much, Ann, for being here tonight. A nice surprise that you came up here.
Thank you. It was so far away taking the elevator up.
I know, it was a tough trip. And no transfer to another elevator bank. We'll be back in a moment to finish up the show at 877-367-2526.